Hey guys, today we're going back to Gotham to cover episode 5 of The Penguin. Let's get into it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Tilly on the Night Podcast. I'm your boy Wanji here with
Kikati.
That's right, and as you said, we're going back to Gotham to cover episode 5 of The Penguin. This was a good one. Yeah. Had a lot in there. We pick up actually right where, I wouldn't say right where, but we pick up directly following what happens in episode 3.
4.
3. 4 was what's her name's
Story,
and
like, then she kills
her flashback, and then
she kills everyone.
Right, but I'm saying with Penguin, we follow what happens with Penguin now.
Right, so essentially, episode 4 and 5 are probably happening
at the same time. Correct. Yeah.
After the events of episode 3.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So now we're following. Now we're on the Penguin's side of the story now. We're seeing what happens with him, and we're going to dive right into that, but first we got a bit of nerd news.
Ayo. All right, so this first bit of nerd news, Sebastian Stan is open to a DC role, and he's interested in playing the Riddler.
Nice.
I can see that. I'm with it.
I like it. Well, I think it's because that's his favorite character, or it's the character that he finds the most interesting. So, but yeah, I'm with it. I would love to see Sebastian Stan as Riddler. I think he would do a good job at that.
I think it's going to happen further down the road because we just got a Riddler in the Batman Matt Reeves series.
But that is Elseworlds.
Exactly. Yeah. I know it is.
Yeah.
But I think people are going to be like, all right, like this is now our third Riddler.
Yeah.
Like let's do something else.
Has James Gunn ever worked with Sebastian Stan? I don't think so. Not that I know of anyway.
No, I don't think so. Other than, Rocket stealing his arm.
Right, but that was Infinity War. James Gunn wasn't on that one.
No, Rocket stole Bucky's arm and gave it to Nebula in the Christmas special.
Right, but Sebastian Stan wasn't there. He didn't film anything, so you're saying that's his only tie to it?
Right.
Yeah, but that's just the arm. Yeah. But yeah, so I only say that because I know James Gunn likes using actors that he's worked with and that he's liked working with. So that's why I was like, well, if he's ever worked with James Gunn, I'm pretty sure they would get along and he would like him. I'm like, then that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't know when James Gunn plans on introducing his Riddler. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure James Gunn has heard that news, so hopefully.
Yeah, he's like,
he makes that happen, yeah.
Write that down real
quick. Yeah. Next bit of nerd news, we got Daredevil Born Again to premiere March 4th on Disney+. Hell yeah.
I'm with it. I can't wait for this.
Yes, series. Like, is it March already? You know what I mean? Like,
seriously.
But yeah, and we heard that from Vince D'Onofrio and
at New York Comic Con, they released it too.
Yes, well, that's where we heard it from Vincent D'Onofrio. He literally said the date. He kind of teased us like, you guys want to hear a date? And then the crowd went crazy. What's the actor's name who's playing Daredevil? Why am I blanking on it?
Charlie
Cox. There you go. Mm-hmm. They were both on the panel, yeah, and they confirmed that date. So that is exciting news because we were ready for it.
Yes.
Next bit of news.
Avengers Secret Wars will reportedly feature Chris Evans as Captain Hydra.
Ooh.
Fucking dope.
Language.
Is this a rumor or is this confirmed? I think it's still a rumor.
It's still a rumor.
Yeah.
But there's so much in the air for this movie's going to be big.
It is.
And if it's not a 3.5 hour movie or 4 hour fucking movie, then it needs to be split into 2 parts.
I don't think it's going to be a 4 hour movie.
Cool. So then split into 2 parts. Give me 2.
Like Infinity War, Avengers Endgame style?
No. Give me part 1 and part 2 of Secret Wars.
Well, that's pretty much what Infinity War and Endgame were. It was a part 1 and a part 2. They weren't titled that way.
Yeah. Well, I don't want them to be tied in. I want whatever happens in Doomsday to be its own story that leads to Secret Wars, but then break up those movies. If you're not giving me a 3.5 hour, 4 hour movie, there's too much that can be done. that I don't want them to cut any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me it all.
Yeah,
I want all of them fucking nerd
as much
or nerd shit. Like nerd the fuck out.
Yeah, they've definitely got to put as much as they can. So I'm with you on that for them to split up Secret Wars into 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Behind that,
how they did the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. It'd be Secret Wars Part 1, Part 2.
Yeah, it's the same story exactly. Like Part 2 picks up immediately from where Part 1 left off. Yeah, for sure. I'm with that for sure.
And I mean, have them release a year from each other. I don't mind that.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I said Infinity War Endgame style, because Endgame literally came out a year after.
Correct,
Infinity War.
It wasn't. It was 2 different stories. The story concluded. The Avengers lost.
You know what I mean? For sure. But I meant like in a way that it was still part of the same story. Like it picked up immediately following the events of that.
Right. But I mean, end it the way Deathly Hallows did.
Yeah.
Where it ends, and you're like, fuck, hard cliffhanger.
Yes.
But the story isn't finished.
Correct.
Versus. We got a full-on story in Infinity War. Some people,
Infinity War. It did. The story ended.
Yeah,
and then
they all lost, and Thanos won. And
you're
like, holy shit!
Yes.
This is how it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where are we gonna go from here?
Yeah.
So it was so much mystery.
Longest year of my life. Like I was like, come on,
seriously, dude.
Yeah. Next bit of news. Mike Flanagan says the goal is to make his Exorcist movie the scariest film he's ever made. Yikes.
All right, I'm with it. I need a good scary movie, a movie that scared the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of thriller, eerie movies, like Long Legs I told you about was creepy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple other movies that have came out that like Smile 2 looks like it's gonna be pretty scary.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it just yet.
Well, Smile 1 was great, but yeah.
But I need me a good like.
Yeah, like another like the way Exorcist did when it came out.
Correct. I haven't had a movie that made me not be able to sleep.
That's where I was going with that. Is my dad had told me that when Exorcist came out and he went to go see it, he could not sleep. I think he said for like a week he had trouble sleeping, or maybe he just couldn't sleep that night. I can't remember. But I just remember him.
Able to sleep.
Yeah, I just remember him saying that he couldn't sleep after he saw that movie. It was that scary.
Speaking of scary, the Joliet Haunted Prison.
Yes.
Fucking scary, bro.
Nice.
It's pretty dope, dude.
Okay.
They have like 3 haunted houses in it. It's like 3 sections. The second one is a laser tag haunted house. So as they run at you, they have like shock collars. They don't shock. They just light up. Yeah. So you can shoot the collars and then they like wig out.
Sick.
It's probably and it's cool because like you go from scary as shit and then you're like, okay, let's have some fun and shoot these goblin ghouls.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
relax your nerves a little bit.
Like, and then get the adrenaline pumping so you kind of relax it. Get the not the melatonin, the serotonin back into you, like to feel good because you're having fun.
Yeah.
And we bought the package where like we were wearing these light up bracelets and they would grab you and pull you to the side into a secret bar. And they were giving you Jello shots.
Oh, sick!
Yeah, or they gave you. I forget what the other shots were. But like they pulled you in, you took shots, and then you went back on.
Dope.
Yeah, dude, so fucking cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I definitely recommend doing.
Yeah.
it.
So check that out. If you guys are in the haunted houses, definitely check. What is it called? The
Joliet Haunted Prison.
There it goes.
Yeah.
So look that up. Last bit of nerd news.
Oh yeah, rumor. Hocus Pocus 3 in development.
Yes.
I'm with it. Hocus Pocus 2 was cute. Good movie. The original was the OG of like
obviously,
fucking cool ass Disney movies back in the day. Yeah, I think they should run with
That's
this.
a timeless classic. Hocus Pocus will always be good. Yeah, for sure.
And I think they shouldn't milk this for what it is.
I'm very interested in this to see what the storyline is going to be because they all, at the end of Hocus Pocus 2, they all disappear together.
Yeah.
So interesting how they come back and stuff like that. Interesting to see where they go with that story.
I'm okay with whatever they do because it's that mystic realm. So there's limitless ideas of what you can do with it.
True.
But I don't want it to be a reboot. Like I want them to reboot this in like 30 years, not.
Oh no! It would be with the original cast,
right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I like that they didn't try to reboot it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Even though there's been a lot of time since the first one came out, they could have easily rebooted it, but they're like, let's just give them a sequel.
Yeah,
because all the actresses are still, alive and well, still acting,
right?
For the most part,
and like similar to how they did Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, they did a sequel and they didn't reboot it.
Correct.
And I think people were saying that a lot of reboots were like. Just not making the cut.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, sorry guys. But yeah, so
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with that
And what
for
that story
sure.
is.
But yeah,
make sure you guys like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and keep up with the latest of nerd news.
that's right. That's it for nerd news. All right, so now let's dive into episode 5, Homecoming of the Penguin.
The Penguin, yeah, not Spider-Man.
No.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh gosh, I'm like Spider-Man. Did it sound like I was gonna say Spider-Man? What the heck?
No, I was being silly.
Okay, episode 5, Homecoming. With his operation at stake, Oz makes a desperate move to turn the tables. Meanwhile, Sophia strives to build a new legacy for herself.
And boy, does she!
Yes, definitely. So as we said earlier, this episode kind of shows us what was happening on the Oz side of the story during what was going on in episode 4, but now we're just picking up where what happened, what was going on with Oz.
Correct.
So we see his car just fucking totaled.
Yeah.
It picks up with them two, him and Vic looking at the car, and then Penguin's telling him a story about someone else who had like a badass car down, whenever
he rode it like a chariot. Yeah.
Yeah, and he would see it on the block, and it meant like you were good or whatever. And then he torches his car.
Yeah.
Get rid of the evidence, or just to get rid of the car.
Oz gathers his crew.
Yeah, and he talks about going after Mikey Maroney.
Yeah.
Which he pulls up his TikTok total plug.
Oh yeah,
because it showed literally the TikTok like opening up and logo in Clearview. Like, yeah, that's a fucking sponsor.
Yeah.
So then it shows Mikey like on his making a TikTok and or not making one of his TikTok posts of him at a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
And he's saying like he's basically like bragging that the Maronis are back and they're back to take over this and that. And then Oz is showing him, he's like basically telling his crew like, look, this idiot's he's showing us where he's at and he's ripe for the fucking taking.
Right.
So their plan is so the next thing is they show him at the tattoo shop, right?
Yeah.
Getting a tattoo, he's getting his back tattooed. And then he has headphones on, so we hear what he's hearing. But you see in the background all blurry,
Oz walks in, shoots the first guy.
Yeah.
A bunch of other people walk in. They start shooting everybody else up.
Yep.
And then finally
the tattoo artist stops and is like looking at what's going on. And then do they shoot the tattoo artist or they just okay? So then this dude realizes something's going on and turns around and sees what's happening and bolts.
Yeah.
And he tries going out the back.
And Vic fucking stops him.
Yeah. He's about to climb a fence. Vic grabs him, throws him down, and is like trying to like hold him down and stuff. And he's hitting him, isn't he? He's punching him?
Yeah, he's beating the shit out of him.
Yeah. And then Penguin comes out and puts a gun
to his face.
Straight to his face, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking baller. Dude.
Hell yeah.
Crazy shit.
That's how fucking Penguin does it.
So he goes back to Blackgate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he tries to blackmail Sal and Nadia. Well, essentially he is blackmailing Sal and Nadia to get his drugs back. And he says, I got Mikey.
He shows them a picture of Mikey tied up with tape on his mouth and then with today's newspaper on his torso. So he's showing like, I mean, business, I want my shit back. I want what you stole from me.
Right.
And then, so then this dude, Sal, goes to like get up and like yell at Penguin or whatever. And then Penguin fucking corrects his ass and he's like, he goes, what does he tell him? He's like, so you like realize what's going on here. Like, I mean, business, this and that. And then, so he's like, he sets up a plan to be like, meet me with my drugs, just me and you. Or he says for Nadia to come alone. Yeah. And then Sal's like, nah, I'm not setting my wife alone with you. He's like, fine. Because I'm a gentleman, one guard. And I'll bring, Mikey. And then what? Oh, they start talking in Italian? No, what's the language?
Italian.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Italian. They're Sicilian. Right?
Okay.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they start
that part of it.
Yeah. So they start speaking their language, and then Penguin's right there, and like right in the middle of in the conversation, he just yells out, like, "Hey!"
Like, I'm fucking here.
Yeah. So then they set up the meeting, and then on the way out, Penguin goes to the guard, 11 o'clock, red jacket.
Yeah.
And he slides him some money. And that was code.
To
right?
fucking stab his ass.
Yeah, it was code to fucking take Sal out.
Yeah.
So then, do we see that right away? No, right? What? We see that later, right?
Yeah, a little bit later. Yeah.
Okay.
So the police are at Falcone's, the Falcone compound, and talking to like Johnny's fucking missing, and
they're talking the police chief, right?
Yeah, the police chief he's like not praying, he's prying. I don't even know. He's prying to trying to find out what the hell really happened with Sophia. And then Sophia kind of catches on that he's like trying to trip her up on words. And she's like, my family has just died. And you're like interrogating me? Like,
yeah.
But it kind of gives her way more. They're like, yeah, bitch, I fucking killed him. And that's what it kind of, the vibe that Sophia was giving.
Yeah.
So in the last episode, it ends with her saving Johnny. And now we don't know where Johnny's at. So I'm like, all right, she's going to frame Johnny. Which is not the case. Turns out that Johnny Vitti is locked up in like where they bury all of their relatives, the Falcone family.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cemetery, but it's called not a monument. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a crypt.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're called. Yeah, crypts. And then
and that's on the property, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Vitti's like chained up. She like throws like hot water on him or something like that.
Something, yeah.
And then she's like laying
maybe cold because the way he reacted.
Oh, true. And then she like lays and she's like just chilling on one of the fucking tombs there. It's weird.
Yeah.
She's just so weird. But I mean, she's scary. I don't want to fuck with that lady. Then it turns to Oz. He has Mikey as hostage at his girl's place. And you can tell she's uncomfortable with the whole situation. And then Oz, has the whole crew there.
Yeah.
They're watching TV, right? And then Oz like cuts them off. He's like, fuck them. Like, who cares? Like, really stop paying attention to what's on the TV.
Yeah.
Essentially. And then he tells Vic, he's like, I need you to look over my mom. Like, you're responsible for her now, essentially. He's like, I only trust you to do it.
And he says to take her to a place nobody will look for her.
Right. Well, no, not yet.
Not yet? Oh, okay.
No, he just says to go keep an eye on my mom. So they have a phone call later that like there's too much
right. Heat. Okay, I was combining the two scenes. Okay.
So then Johnny, it goes back to Johnny and Sophie talking, and Johnny says that her mom. Yeah. Oh yeah, Sophie. So Johnny says that her mom was gonna leave Carmine. And that's essentially why Carmine killed her and hung her. Yeah. And Johnny wants to help Sophia now, since he didn't really help his cousin / her mom. Yeah. So then,
he kept like saying, like he feels bad that he couldn't help her. Yeah. Like he should have, but he wants to help Sophia, and
right. Because Sophia was like guilt tripping him, saying like, "You knew my dad was a monster. You knew he killed her. You've known this, and you didn't do anything about it." And out of, I think, guilt, he's like, yeah, you're right. I feel shitty about this.
He goes, you're right. I should have done more to help her and this and that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's him just doing it to save his ass. I don't think he had any good intentions of.
You don't think it was like a come into Jesus moment for him? I think he was
terrified of her.
Yeah, but you don't think there was some truth to that? Like that he didn't feel bad that it was his cousin. That's what I'm saying. A little bit
sprinkled truth.
That's what I'm saying. There's a little bit of truth behind that.
Like, because before he was like, "I'm not scared of you" in previous episodes, and now he's terrified of her. Absolutely,
as he should be.
Yeah. Which as he should have been from the very beginning.
Seriously.
Yeah, you do not underestimate this woman.
They fucked up because Falcone's plan kind of backfired. He tried punishing her, but he wound up creating a monster.
Oh yeah,
so
crazy.
I don't think she would have been like this had she not gone to Arkham.
No, I don't think so. She would not be the savage.
Definitely not.
No, she would have been on outside. She would have been like the rich girl that's just part of the family.
No. Because she had aspirations to take over the family. she would have been the
right, because
the move maker. Yeah, she would have been the move maker for sure, but she wouldn't have been as savage about it as she is now.
Fair point.
You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
So then Vic goes to look over Oz's mom. And while he's there, he kind of like sneaks into the house and like, hey, are you okay? And nothing's happening. And the fucking stove is.
Well, yeah, he goes in and it almost, at first I thought she was taken.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, they got to her, his mom.
Already, yeah.
And then, cause like lights are on and the stove is on, something's boiling over. Yeah. Wasn't the fridge open or something like that? Like, yeah, it literally looks like somebody was taken in the middle of the
But it turns out she was just in her bedroom and she hadn't taken her meds, and so she's waking up.
Yeah.
So, thankfully, she's okay. Because Oz would have fucking flipped.
Oh.
This whole episode would have went totally different.
Yeah, it would have been his version of Sophia killing the whole family. He would have just killed a shit ton of people. Yeah.
So then he goes like, all right, well, let me help you up. Oh, actually, no, she's playing with a mitt.
Oh, is that what she was doing? Okay.
She had the box on the bed, and she was playing with the mitt. She's like, "Oh, this is yours." She's like, I'm Vic," and then he goes, she's like, what did he say? I'm hired by, I work for Oz, for your son, and then she's like, I know who you are, and she like snaps back into it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, help me up at least, and then, as he's going to help her, he's like, whoa, what happened to your arm? And like on her right arm, she has this huge bruise, like right around her bicep area.
It's a bruise. I thought it was a burn.
No, I saw it as a bruise.
It's a bruise, right?
Because he touches it, it would have hurt if it was a burn.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
And then what's it called? She's like, maybe I was pushed, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, is she?
I see it as her, like, she fell, she just can't remember. Or she hit herself on something, just can't remember it.
You think she's DID and she has a split personality?
No, I think it's dementia.
Dementia?
Yeah.
Poor thing. So why does Vic lie and say that Oz was the one that killed the Falcons? And then she's like, don't lie to me, boy, you're bad at it. And he's like, I'm not, it's the truth. Because it was his plan all along for something like this to happen?
No, because remember the conversation that his mom had with Oz? And she's like, for him not to be, like, run and for him to take charge and be a man, or all this shit. So I think it was Vic's way of, like, saying he listened to her and he's doing that so that she could be proud of him and think he's doing what he has to do, like that. That's how I took it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought he was just trying to help Oz out and be basically
stretching the truth.
By basically just telling his mom that he's doing what she told him to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay,
that's how I took it.
Okay,
what I'm right or wrong is
Yeah, I mean, no, it makes sense. I get what you're saying from there. So then she's like, okay, well, she smiles and gets happy. And then she's like, well, he's going to need my help. And then it flips out from that.
And I love how giddy she gets at the end. It was really cute. Yeah.
So goofy. Yeah. So then that's when the guard tries to kill Maroney.
Yeah.
And he says, this is from Oz. And then it cuts.
And he stabs him in his stomach. And then we just see, like,
a struggle
of, like, Maroney dealing with the stab. And then it cuts away.
Right. And
so we think, oh shit,
he's gone. He
killed Sal. Mission complete.
Right, and then so Nadia and Oz meet up to hand over the son
to do the trade off.
Yeah, and it's an ambush. So Nadia set up as an ambush and has a bunch of other people.
But fucking Oz knew that was coming. He was prepared.
And he has Mikey's like dripping, and he looks
drenched,
like he's drenched in something. And I'm like, bro, is he in gasoline? In my mind, I knew it. I'm like, why the fuck would he be wet? Like, he's not being waterboarded. Like, none of that. Like, this motherfucker's gonna light him on fire, dude. Yeah. And Oz, I started thinking like Oz. I'm like, this motherfucker's crazy. He has a plan for this.
Yeah.
And then he's,
he reaches the mom.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, grabs him and is like, oh my God, like dealing with him. Like, making sure he's okay. I think she hugs him and stuff, right?
And then he sends his guy to go check on the shrooms to make sure they're good. And he's like, yeah, they're good, boss. And then he's like, all right, well, we're going to drive up out of here.
And then that's when her guys come out.
And start shooting.
Yeah. And then this guy, one of Oz's guys, was able to grab the gun from the guy before he shoots him.
Yeah. Shot him.
Yeah, kills him. Oz fucking sees the guy come and takes him out.
Yeah.
And then he lights the lighter, drops it by his feet, and then the trail of fucking fire just goes to Mikey
and Nadia.
Yeah, well,
because she hugged him.
It lights him up, and then some of the flame. I don't know if it jumped or maybe.
Well, I think because she embraced him, she was
still touching him, right? So the fire went on her, and because she hugged him and had gasoline over her, she lit up.
Then they both just engulfed him.
And then he's standing there watching the shit, kind of enjoying it, like just like looking at it.
And then they jump in the pickup truck.
Oh, no.
But the Amstel system goes off, the fire extinguisher system.
The fire system, so like they had the setup in there it wasn't sprinklers. It was like what's in the fire extinguishers.
Yeah, Amstel. The Amstel system,
yeah. So that's coming out, and it's going everywhere.
And it fucks up the drugs.
So it goes over the truck full of shrooms, and then he's like, the mushrooms, and then they get in the car. They barrel through the fucking
garage door.
The steel garage door. And then when they finally pull over,
they only got like 2 buckets.
Dude, he pulls over to his guys, and then he looks at one of them, and he's like, he sees like it's not vibrant red anymore, and he goes to touch it, and it just crumbles. He's like, no, and then he hops in the back of the truck, and he's like touching all of them. They're all crumbling. He's like, no. He's like going through it, and then he moves like, because some of them are in bags of like dirt or whatever. He moves it off, and then he opens 2 buckets, and then there's some fresh ones. He's like, we only have 2 fucking buckets. He's like, and then one of his guys
I can't take over the fucking.
You can't build an empire on 2 buckets. And then one of his guys goes, can we get more? And then what did he say? He's like, where do you think we're gonna get more? Like, do you think they have a stockpile? Like, this was it. And then he said something to that, and then something like that. But yeah, that was crazy, dude. All those fucking that was like potentially millions of dollars worth of bliss.
Yeah.
That was gone.
It's gone now.
So I would be as pissed, if not more, than what Oz was.
Yeah, absolutely,
for sure. That's like fucking having, I don't know, bricks of coke just destroyed with, like, they all got wet or whatever. I don't know.
So then as he's freaking out, he gets a phone call. He's like, Mikey, give me some. Oh, he says Mikey, right?
No, he said the guard's name.
Mikey.
No.
Yes, the guard's name is Mikey.
Really?
Also,
the guard just happened to be the same name
like,
as
Mikey,
his son?
give me some good news. And so then he calls.
Yeah.
So Sal is the one that's calling Oz.
Yeah. From the guard's phone.
And he's like, so he ends up killing the guard apparently and taking his keys. So he's like, Sal says, "You're cooked now, Oz."
Yeah.
And Oz laughs. He goes, He says that's funny. You should call your wife, and then
Yeah. Poor choice of words on that one. Yeah.
He's like,
Because
"You
his wife and son were
Literally
literally cooked. Yeah.
Oh my god! And I was like, why would this grown ass man be like, "You're cooked"? Because that's like a slang word that kids use now.
Now, yeah.
And I'm like,
I think it's because it's the relevant slang now, so it's the.
You think that's why they said it?
Yeah,
I don't
because
like
it's to. What's the word? It's to like tailor to that audience, to the young
It's a
audience.
rated R show. That
Yeah,
audience
but
ain't watching this.
Yeah, but think about it. Most of the people using terminology like that are teens and up. So teens would be watching Batman. Because think about it. This Batman is like what we were our Keaton because Keaton was earlier. Would be our like I don't know, like Val Kilmer, George Clooney era Batmans. And that's when we were into Batman, or that's when we were this age that they are now.
PG-13 movies. I don't know. I just don't like the PC culture or like the new slang hip woke
being relevant, being like in the
This is fucking the mobster,
Fair
like
enough.
the Gotham, this is dark, dirty underworld.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You know what I do like? And shout out to Film Addicts. I was listening to Regs talk about because Addie hasn't watched Penguin yet, but Regs is following it.
Got it.
And Regs gave a synopsis of the show that I was like, that's fucking perfect. You're a genius. So shout out to you, Regs. But he said that this is basically The Sopranos in Gotham.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking,
I said that.
Dead on. When?
In one of our previous episodes.
Did you really?
Yeah, asshole.
Bruh. I don't remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know when you said that and when I heard that episode. So maybe I'm just forgetting that you said it. I don't know. Anyway, still shout out to Regs because he said
for
it.
real.
Like,
yeah.
It's funny is I never followed The Sopranos. I never got into that show, but I do like Godfather and all the
the
style show. Yeah,
Italian mobster movies.
Yeah. So, but I was like, that's the perfect way to put the show. It's
Absolutely.
basically Batman's Sopranos. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and Chicago is known to have, or it was known for their mob scene back in the day. Little Italy and all that, and that's what Gotham is based off of.
We have a famous mobster, fucking
Al Capone. Yeah.
Al Capone is buried right outside.
Yeah,
he's buried right outside. He's actually buried at the same cemetery that my father-in-law, my grandfather-in-law, and my grandmother-in-law are buried in.
Oh,
yeah, so they're in the same cemetery. It's crazy.
That's Al Capone, huh?
Yeah, yep. It's wild. Anyway, so yeah, getting back to this, so.
After he hangs up with Sal, Oz calls Vic and tells him he needs to leave town now with his mom and keep her safe. Basically saying like go somewhere where they'll never think to go.
Yeah. Because he's worried that now that Sal's out, he's gonna go after.
Yeah, he has too much heat on him. He's like, I can't afford my mom.
Yeah, because I mean, you just killed this man's wife and son. The only way to get he's coming for your only love
and everybody.
Yeah, which is his mom.
But people don't know he has a mom.
Correct.
But he doesn't want them to accidentally find out, and now she's in danger.
Yeah, because I'm sure if they go to like who's close to Penguin or who can we hurt that's close to Penguin,
right?
And they'll find that information out. You know what I mean? So that's why he's being proactive and been like, get her the hell out of here.
Correct.
Okay.
And then it turns to Julian. He shows up, the therapist. Mm-hmm. He shows up in Sophia's bedroom. He's at the compound.
Yeah, she's getting ready for something, right?
The meeting at the end.
Correct. Yeah, she's getting dressed. She's getting ready, and then he walks in.
He comes in, and he's like, yeah, you're right. I do miss being in control. He's like...
No, he goes, I do miss... he goes, you're right, I do miss something, but it's not the control.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. And then he says, what was it? It was helping you or something like that?
Yeah.
He says something, but I do remember he said it's not the control.
Yeah. But he comes because the police had questioned him about Sophia's...
Sophia, yeah. And he said...
But because of client privilege, that whole non-disclosure...
Hypocritical,
he can't disclose.
Well,
anything.
either he doesn't really say that that's the reason he didn't say that. He just says, I didn't tell them anything. That's not the reason he gave to her. All he said was, I didn't tell them anything. And then he's like, that he does care about her and that he wants to help her. He goes, I don't know what you have planned next. He goes, but I want to be a part of it.
Yeah. So he's trying to join the family.
He 100% wants to be his or her man. 100%.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, 1000%. You hit the nail on the head like last night, saying he 100% has feelings for her.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think she does. They're not as strong as his feelings towards her, but she just doesn't want to be vulnerable yet with him. So, because like she accepted his request to be part of the
side,
to be by her side and shit. So she wouldn't do that if she didn't have some kind of feelings for this guy,
or she realizes how
that he's of use. He can be of use.
Yeah, a lot of use.
Yeah. So she agrees. She's getting ready,
and maybe that's her connection back to Arkham to get the shrooms.
That's a good, and like I said, he's of use. So yeah. So there's
and then she goes and she's like has this fur coat and this jacket and there's like she has like this black dress underneath, super sleek and scary looking. Honestly, very Cruella de Vil vibe that I was getting from it. Yeah. And
I mean, she's definitely got some style because I'm loving all these dresses and stuff that she's wearing. She's definitely,
and she's not scared of showing off her
scars,
her neck scar and her shoulder scar. So when she walks in, Johnny shuts everybody up, shuts everyone down, tells everyone, hey, she got something to say.
Quiet down.
Yeah.
Well, I will say real quick about the scars. I feel like she's intentionally showing them off to show people that she's tough. And like, look what I've been through. I can handle crazy shit. You know what I mean?
No,
it's definitely a battle scar. She's definitely showing them off to prove a point for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what Johnny tells her when they were back in the crypt, that like, I can help you. Like, they need to fear you.
Yeah.
And this is what this is. And she realizes that, but Johnny was a pawn this whole time. So Sophia starts admitting that, she killed everybody, and she kind of loved it.
Yeah.
She basically is saying like, they left her, hung her out to dry.
Yep.
She's like, but to be honest, all of you aren't much different than all of them, and she's like, but this is going to be done differently.
Well, she was telling, these are all like the low level henchmen of the family.
Yeah.
These are the guys that go out there and do the dirty work.
Well, they're the Johnny Viti. They're the Johnny Viti of all of the people that just died. Correct. So Johnny Viti was Falcone, Carmine and Luca's like right hand guy.
Correct.
So this is their
general. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially. So now this is the next in line.
Yes, and she makes a point to tell them that her family made all that money that they made off the back of their hard work and their bloody hands and all that stuff. And she's like, but you guys weren't properly paid. Right. Like, she's basically saying like, you guys
weren't valued.
Yeah, you guys weren't valued. You were expendable.
Right.
She's basically bringing it to the fact like that she recognized that they were undervalued, expendable, and all this stuff.
And she even goes like, the only person that is of a real value here is Johnny, and everyone else were just pawns. And then she's like, but my father's legacy is dead now.
Yeah.
She's like, I am a gigante, and she's like, my mom's name was a gigante, and everyone feared my mom.
Which in the comics, Sophia gets the name Gigante through a marriage. But the showrunners and the writers, they wanted to do it different, and they wanted it to come from like her mom, so that they wrote it that way.
That's dope. I didn't know.
Yeah.
She's like, this is the new family now, and then
she's basically telling them the old ways of doing things are done.
Right.
That she wants to bring in a new era and a new.
And Johnny's like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then fucking.
He tries to like shut that down and to like make sure the guys don't hear that. He's like, "Whoa, hold on, no." What she's saying is, and then as she's talking to the guy, she just takes out the gun, boom,
just fucking puts a hole.
No hesitation, no like. I don't even think he saw it coming.
Hell no, he didn't. No.
Did he look towards her? No.
He was
still talking. Yeah, and she just shot him. Yeah, that's right. Because he got shot like here.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, just fucking savage. Just straight
blows
gangster.
His head and then fucking.
And I have
pulls out a bag of cash.
Yeah, but I have a feeling before we get to that. I have a feeling that that was always the plan.
Yeah.
She had no intention of
keeping
going
him
forward with him around.
No.
She brought him there to prove a point to the rest of the guys. She means business.
Yeah.
And she's not above fucking.
She just killed the only person she said that has value.
Yeah.
And now none of them do.
Yes.
So now she's like, I'm going to pay you what you're worth.
Yes.
And then the first guy reaches for the money. She's like, go ahead.
Yeah, like he goes to like, is this okay? And then, which she dumps all the money right where Vidi's laying on the table, fucking blood all over, brains all over the table. And I'm like, oh no, you threw it all on the blood. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're ruining the money.
You think they give a fuck?
Yeah, no, but imagine going to fucking, buy a TV and some with bloody money. They're not gonna take that anyway.
Yeah, the way she flips the money out on the
Gotham,
table.
So
yeah,
they're probably gonna be like,
yeah, and then,
but yeah, she dumps it out, and then, like you said, the guy next to Vidi goes to like grab it to like make sure
she like
it's okay. She's like, she goes, yeah, it's all right. So then all the guys just start grabbing money.
And that's what she's like, you're going to be paid what you're worth.
Yeah, because she tells them that all that money was the money that they made for the family and their dad, and that her dad just had it stored away.
Yeah.
And she's like, and that's where she makes it a point, I'm going to pay you guys what you're worth. If you guys follow me and stick with, or, and be a part of this family, the Gigante family.
Yeah.
She goes, you will be paid what you're worth.
And they all just jump after money like fiends. Like, all right, bet.
Yeah, they're like, say less.
Yeah. And at that point, like, if you don't take the money and you walk out, she's killing you regardless.
There's, like, I don't know what kind of gun that was, but there's 11 other bullets with your names on it.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
So then it flips to Vic, and he, like, shows up to his old neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And
with Oz's mom, right? He's driving.
Correct. And the Squid character pops up, and he's like, they're
raiding a store, or looting a store.
They're looting a store. It looks like a liquor store.
Really quick, what's up with Gotham and having aquatic themed villains? Penguin, squid, like what's going on there?
I wonder if there's some significance to that. Or was done on purpose because of the penguin.
There has to be, but I'm like, what's up with that? Like, do they all just like aquatic animals? Like, what's going on?
I mean, those are the only two I can think of.
That we know of. But, like, I would imagine if the penguin season, or the series gets more seasons, which I think it will, they're probably going to introduce other aquatic villains in this series. But I'm wondering if maybe Squid was once one of Penguin's guys, and then he broke off to do his own thing.
I don't think so, because Oz doesn't really care for the name Penguin.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to tie in where Squid and Penguin and all this.
I'm sure
these aquatic.
They did it because of the aquatic nature of it.
For sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
If there's any real, weight to that,
yeah.
No, probably not.
Fair enough. I heard that name and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? But all right.
Yeah. So Squid is like the leader of like that town, and he like moves all the drops, and then he's in charge of everything.
He's like the gang leader of what's the place called? The
All I know is that it's on Tower and Oak Street. Tower Avenue and Oak Street.
It's this is gonna bug me. The name of the place where Vic used to live and where it got all flooded from. Fuck, I'm gonna look for it. But go ahead,
look it up. So then, he like tries to avoid Squid, but then he gets Vic and Oz's mom. They get into the apartment. Turns out it's like his uncle's apartment, right? And
whose uncle?
Vic's uncle.
And I thought he said it was a friend's apartment.
Is it a friend?
Yeah, I don't think it's a family member. I think it was he said it was it Calvin or something?
Somebody.
No. Somebody. Yeah, it was a friend's place.
But as they're getting into the building, Squid sees him enter the old apartment. Nothing really happens yet. I wonder how that Squid situation is going to pop off, because now we know Oz joins them later and nothing's happened to them. Or unless Squid snitches.
Yeah.
To Sophia.
Oh yeah, because he kept telling her like, make sure he doesn't see you, and she doesn't. She's still walking slow. He's like, what's going on? You
don't give a fuck.
Yeah. She's like, this guy's got you like damn near pissing in your pants, and like she's just walking normal, and then he's like, come on. He's like ducking behind cars, but then right before he gets her inside the building,
Squid sees them.
So I was like, oh shit.
But nothing really comes of it yet.
Yet. Yeah.
So they get in there.
On yet.
And then, oh my god. They get in there into the apartment and
damn you.
she goes. She's like, huh. She's like, it looks almost like the place I grew up in. And she goes,
with my boys.
With my boys, right? Mm-hmm. Plural. And then she apparently has lost her other 2 sons. So there's 2 kids.
Was it? So it was 3 boys?
There's 3 total. Okay. That's how I've gotten it. Okay. So Oz, then it flips back to Oz, and Oz is he meets up with his chick, the girl that he's dating, like the prostitute chick. Yeah. And she's like, I don't want to go with you. Like,
I'm not going with you. Yeah.
Yeah. And she like bails on him. And she's like, when you're where you're at, essentially saying like, when you're established and, I'm your girl still. But I don't, she really don't want to fuck with him right now. She's not trying to die.
She tries to, well, he loses his shit, first of all. But she says like, she kind of tries to save it saying, I'm just going to slow you down. Which is just the nice way of letting him down.
You think she snitched?
No. I think she just doesn't want to get caught up in that, and she doesn't want to end up fucking one of Maroni's or Sophia's targets.
Gotcha.
So she's trying to distance herself as much as she can from him now.
I think it's stupid. I think she should have went with him because I think obviously they're going to figure out that there has a history. They have a history, and she did.
Yeah.
So Sophia goes to see Sal. Because, apparently, I don't know how she knows Sal's open. Or probably somebody at Blackgate. Or maybe even, what's his name? Julian told her that, put his connections at saying, hey, or at Arkham and Blackgate, like, hey, Sal.
Oh, my goodness, another one. Goodness
gracious. Sorry, guys. And then she offers to have a truce with between the Maronis and the Falcons.
Yeah. Well, she brings up the fact that that Oz snitched to her dad and that he rewarded that, and she goes, I have a feeling like
you would have done something different.
Yeah, and he says I would have killed him. I would have killed him, hung him out or whatever. Yeah, he makes a point to tell her like, yeah, that wouldn't happen with me. I would have fucking
right.
Yeah.
So Sophia recognizes that the Maronis operate off of a real family style mob, essentially, versus the Falcons and Carmine and all of his predecessors. They all operated on a code that like whoever they deem worthy got paid and everybody else was just a pawn.
Yeah.
Versus the Maronis work in really like a Sopranos version of family. Mm-hmm. And so that's where they meet eye to eye. Now, the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend situation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that's when Sophia offers to work with Sal to kill Oz and then take over the city, and on the terms of basically having the family value as their center virtue. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's I didn't see that coming. I know she said she was going to end the war when she was in that meeting with everybody.
But you thought she was going to take out the Maronis.
I thought she was going to fuck them up. Yeah.
You were here watching the ending of the episode, and you were like, "What the?" You're really like caught off guard.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't think she wants to run. She's gonna let the Maronis take over the city, and I think she wants something bigger.
Okay.
I think Sophia's gonna keep climbing the ropes, and she's gonna her grasps are bigger than just Gotham. I think.
Okay.
Where that is and where that lies to, I got some more digging to do to figure that out. Okay. But I think that's the trajectory of her future.
Mm-hmm.
So
Crown Point.
Yes.
That's where they're at. The Crown Point is where Vic used to live. And that's where what got flooded, one of the spots that got flooded the worst and destroyed the whole neighborhood.
From the events of the Batman.
Yes, and that's where Vic's family died and, all that stuff. Yeah. That's where it takes place. You literally see cars piled up on top of each other, rubble all on the streets. It's bad. It's a horrible place, and that's why he's like, no one really cares about Crown Point. And the Maronis don't have pool here. No crime family has any pool at Crown Point. It's
right. I think that's why Squid is in charge there.
Yeah, it's really just it's a no man's land.
Free for all.
Yeah.
So then it goes back to Oz showing up at the apartment. He walks in like nothing, and Victor's knocked out. He goes to check on his mom, which I was like, if he just fucking walked in like nothing, like who knows what could have happened? Like,
yeah, what if that had been Squid coming in? Like you,
right?
Yeah, you dropped the ball on the guard watch, man.
Yeah, damn it, Vic. So then he goes to lay with his mom, and he's talking to his mom. And mom goes, "Oh, my boy, with such big dreams, you're just like your father." And he's like, he says, "No, not like him.
I'm nothing like him." Right? Yeah.
And then she's like, "You take me back here. You throw this in my face, where with everything I lost here." She's like, "I lost him too." And she's like, "What kind of man can't take care of his own mother?" And so like she's slipping in and out of dementia, but there's some truth to what she's saying and her feelings. And then he mentioned, like, he leaves her alone, lets her sleep essentially. Yeah. And he goes to Oz goes to talk to Vic, and then he's saying,
well, Vic, like, then he wakes up and gets startled, and he's like, and then I was like, no, it's okay, like, it's me.
I'm already here.
Yeah,
you would have been dead if it wasn't me.
Yeah,
essentially. And then he sees the box with the glove on there, and then he goes, this was Jack's. Benny didn't play ball. And then that's when
okay, right? I that line like went right over my head that he was talking about his two brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he goes, that's when Vic asks, what happened to them. And then Oz just goes, the city took them, how they took your family. And then it cuts to them leaving the apartment, and it's like dark at night, and they go to this transit authority Gotham City trolley, which was a government-funded trolley. They got essentially can get you anywhere all over the city. It's an underground like L system like ours here in Chicago. But at some point it stopped being funded by greedy politicians. Yeah,
they started
and they diverted the funds to other things.
Yeah. Well, when they first get down there, it kind of looks like they're in the sewers almost at first. To get to it, and it's just them with a flashlight, and he's looking for the entrance.
Right.
But yeah, at first I thought it was a sewer system.
Yeah. So it turns out him and his brothers used to go down there when they were younger, and he's like, you can access any part of the city here. And that's something that, like, in the comics and even in the Michael Keaton Batman movie, the Joker had his penguins with bombs and missiles come out.
You mean the Penguin?
I'm sorry, the Penguin had his bombs, strapped to his penguin.
And they were all coming out from there. Yeah.
He can access the entire city through that tunnel system.
Yeah.
So this is where the workings of the Penguin is kind of coming into play.
We're starting to see his origin.
Yeah. And that's pretty fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
And then they get down to this certain part where the trolley's at, and he goes, he's like, it's wet and moist down here. He's like,
it's humid. It's humid
and moist down here. He's like, what thrives in this type of environment? And he's like, fucking shrooms.
Vic is like mushrooms.
Yeah.
He's like fucking shrooms. Yeah.
And then he's like, it's calling me home.
So he had a generator, and they had it set up. The setup down there kind of reminded me of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Of like using the trolley cars as like their houses or their rooms and shit. Because when he gets down there, when he finds the spot, he starts the generator, and it takes him a few tries, and then the generator kicks on and the lights pop up and light the whole place. Yeah. And that's where he tells him, it's humid down here, kind of, wet, and what thrives. And that's where that conversation happens.
Yeah, and he's like, welcome to the new base of operations.
Yeah, this is our new base of operations here. And then my favorite part is that, like, they're standing there looking at it, and then the lights start flickering, and then the generator cuts out.
It dies, yeah.
And then that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I was like, that was the funniest way to end the episode. That was really funny. But yeah, so when he got to that part, that's when I started getting like a little excited, like, hell yeah, we're starting to see.
He's going to start embracing this moniker of Penguin.
Yeah, dude, because now we got the Penguin's lair, and like everything's starting to slowly come together as him taking the mantle of Penguin. Yeah. The show's getting really good. Like you said, there's only 8, right?
Yeah, 8 episodes.
So we got 2 more episodes after. 3.
This
is episode 5.
Yeah, this is 5.
So yeah, we got 3 more episodes. So it's starting to kick off. Do you think the series is gonna end with him looking like the classic Penguin?
No.
No? You don't think that's the final cut scene? Like the final scene is him looking like that with the cane and all, or an umbrella?
No.
What?
I don't think so.
I think
it's gonna end with him being in charge,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's gonna be like, "You can call me the Penguin," and that's it. And then it's gonna lead to him being in one of the future movies.
I don't know. I think the look is coming. I think his series finale. The look is gonna.
He might dress the part.
That's what I'm
maybe
saying.
with a top hat.
That's what I'm saying.
And the monocle.
You don't think
possibly?
No, the monocle. I think that's a bit too comic booky.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really like 70s. Like when was the Batman with Adam West around? 60s.
60s.
That's that era Penguin. But no, top hat. Tuxedo coat, right? Is what he wears, and and the cane or the umbrella. I'm talking about that look. I think we're gonna get some form of that. And I say that because one of the photos I use of the Penguin is him looking like that. He's in a coat. He's sitting down on a chair. I don't know if he's wearing a top hat or not. I gotta look at it again. But anyway, he's looking close to that, and that's what gave me the idea. I was like, we might see it at the end of the season.
I mean, I'm not against if it happens.
Yeah,
I just don't think it will.
You don't think so? I hope
think
so.
he'll embrace the moniker and take that title.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't see it being that important. Will it be cool? Yeah, absolutely. Well, do I think it's important? Nah.
Yeah, because they are. Yeah, because the Riddler didn't look classic Riddler style. Apparently, he looked more fucking like Scarecrow-ish than Riddler.
I agree.
So they are doing more realistic looks, but he could still, maybe not the top hat, but he could still have the tux coat on and
an umbrella. Because when he got his first real promotion, once he ratted out Sophia, he had a new jacket.
Yeah.
So
I think every time he levels up, he fucking dresses the part.
Yeah.
Give me at least the umbrella.
I'd rather have the suit over the umbrella.
True, but I'm saying if we don't get the suit, at least have him fucking hold an umbrella. I don't know. That would just make me happy. I would like to see that.
Or maybe like once he takes over, like it's raining outside, and it'll be the umbrella, and he'll shoot somebody with it, and then end of the fucking season.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah.
If they're gonna do the umbrella, then he has to kill somebody with it.
It has to be a gun umbrella for sure. Yeah. Absolutely, or a fucking sword umbrella, some shit like that.
No, I want the gun umbrella.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying, at the very least, give me at least a sword umbrella. Him stab somebody with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hope we see that. Whether it happens or not, we shall see. Yeah. But that's it. You got anything else?
No, man.
All right. So that was episode 5 of the Penguin. Stay tuned for episode 6 next Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday.
At 8
o'clock.
Yeah. But our breakdown of it will follow that shortly as soon as we can. But that's gonna do it for us. We want to thank you all for joining us yet again, and Kike, even in Gotham, I'm with you
to the end of the line.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our new episodes and more.